Hello YouTube, LJ Draco here. Yes, this is my 3D Blu-ray and Blu-ray Collection update. I did my 3D Blu-ray Collection update separate to this. So instead of uploading that as a separate video, I'm actually going to add it just to the end of this video and blend it in so that you guys can see. It's going to be a long video. I forgot I was meant to do it at the same time, but because so much happened, I got distracted. So I'm going to add the Blu-rays first and then the 3D films after this, so I'm so sorry, my mind went all over the place. You'll see in the next video that a lot of stuff happened, so because I recorded that first, I ended up losing my mind. You'll see what I mean. So this is my Blu-ray and 3D Blu-ray collection update of 2016. I explained in the second part of this video that the reason is a few of the movies I was hoping to turn up before New Year's wasn't going to turn up before January. It was the end on the movies I had for December, not January, so yeah. But let's just get started, really. There's no other way to do this. So, we've got two kids' movies. We'll just go first. The only Easter movie that I can find to exist, which is Hop, which is actually a great Easter movie. Absolutely enjoyed this. I think this is like the third release they did of this movie. I love this artwork for the front, because usually it's just like a white sleeve with the tiny EB on it with the little drums. I actually prefer this artwork because you get the nice full art of EB's face, plus the little bubble here that's shaped like an Easter egg saying Hop. I quite like that. Then it's the Lego Movie, which I had on 3D before, but the 3D was terrible. But it's still a great movie to watch in standard 2D. I'm just gonna let you guys know here, because people don't seem to realise every time I say in a video, and I know that someone's going to comment below, when it comes to digital copies, they always get given to family members first. You will all know, if I end up having digital copies to movies, and you hear me do a video where I say, oh, no one's claimed these, then you can ask. But if I haven't done that, it means that they're not available. But yet people keep asking videos for the digital downloads. No. And there are none left in these cases. All of the digital copies that existed in these cases were either used by previous people that own these films or given to family members. There are none to be asked for. And I know someone's going to put down in the comments below. Anyway. Yeah, Lego Movie is a great movie. Alright, so we've only got 5 Disney movies on standard Blu-ray. Sorry. And 4 of them are which are the same series. So let's just go through it. Pirates of the Caribbean and the Curse of the Black Pearl. Pirates of the Caribbean and A Dead Man's Chest. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And Pirates of the Caribbean and Stranger Tides. I hate that movie, but I had to get it purely for the fact that it's the set. You have to get it. Yeah, I don't watch that one. But my favourite one out of all 5 of these Disney movies that I've got is The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah, I love this movie. It's funny, it's amazing, the story is incredible. And I love Jay Baruchel. He's actually a really good actor, very underrated actor. I mean, if you've watched the How to Train Your Dragon movies, if you watch the How to Train Your Dragon series, ugh. Amazing. Right, then we got some comedy movies. Got 3. See, I'm just gonna know something, right? Little secret fact about me. You guys know what I'm like with 3D. If the 3D movie that I buy hasn't got good 3D, it gets sold, and I'll get the standard Blu-ray at some point. With standard Blu-rays, I'm the same. I'll only buy standard Blu-rays that have a reason to be on Blu-ray. So stuff like Bridesmaids, no. I love that movie, but no. Any kind of just plain standard movie that doesn't have special effects graphics or any kind of... I usually just don't bother with, because there's no point in having them on Blu-ray. I really don't give 2 shites about special features as much as most people. If they're on there, I'll watch them, but I don't give 2 damns whether or not I do watch them or if they're on there or not. I just like the movie. That's it. That's all I care about is just the movie. So I don't pick up movies that have no point to be on Blu-ray. But 2 of these were just £1 each, and I was bored, and I wanted to get a couple of movies. That's why I got them. And the other one, I kind of needed. It's because of one of the special features I had to get it. But let's start off with it's the Anchorman movies on Blu-ray. These are £1 each. Hilarious, and it's got the extended versions of the movies, so I had to get them. This is the one that I had to buy purely for the special features, and it is the Jumanji Blu-ray. Because of this, if you can see it, give me a sec. Can you read that? It includes exclusive interactive board game. I'm reading this backwards, so trying to read that it sucks. But yeah, it's an interactive board game that you can play with 3 other people. And me, my partner, and the in-laws were sitting there all playing. But I mean, it was nice to get a Jumanji on Blu-ray anyway. It was quite cheap, like 3 or 4 quid. Yeah. Next up is my hero movies. I've got some of these. Just spread them out. I've got Marvel, DC, and other various. Let's start off with Deadpool, probably one of the best hero movies of 2016. Ryan Reynolds finally got to show us what Deadpool was made of. It's exactly what Deadpool should have been. Then, I don't care what anyone says. People can give me shite for these next 3 movies. I don't care. But Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, I enjoyed. I thought they were good. I thought Chris Evans was great as the Human Torch. I love the guy who played Ben Grimm as Michael Chiklis. And the Silver Surfer storyline was brilliant. I thought the Silver Surfer was awesome in that movie, in the second one. Next up is Ghost Rider, which if you saw my Back to My Future, you see that I actually really like that movie. A lot of people give it shit, but I think it was an okay movie. And then for Marvel, last is the Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. I like these movies. I don't like Tobey Maguire as much. Good actor. He is a good actor. I mean, I liked him in what's that film that I had? Can't remember now. I'll put a picture of it here. Gatsby, the Great Gatsby remake. I liked his character in that. I do like these movies. I just didn't like his acting as Peter Parker. It kind of died for me after that. Next up, we've got DC. Got 4 movies for DC on Blu-ray. We've got Batman Begins, probably the best Batman movie. No, I keep saying that and it's wrong. I keep saying Batman Begins. It's not. I'm sorry, but Batman is a great Batman movie. The best Batman movie to exist is The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger's Joker is fucking amazing. Oh, I love his Joker role. It's brilliant. It just... he worked so hard to play that Joker well. And then we've got The Dark Knight Rises, which obviously I wasn't too keen on that. I love Tom Hardy. Props give to one of the greatest British actors of this generation. Amazing guy. But he played the wrong Bane. He should have voiced the proper Bane. Like, they should have... It's not his fault at all. It is the bloody casting. They should have made Bane properly. But I gotta give him dupes for the way he played Bane. He did do it well. And then my favourite DC movie of all times is actually Watchmen. I love this. I absolutely love... I had the animated comic DVD of the movie. Basically, it was the comic version of the adaptation of the graphic novel. And it's the exact same story as this, but as the graphic novel version. So seeing this is amazing, and a lot of people are saying get the director's cut because there's so much more about that movie. But I've heard a lot of bad things about the director's cut, and I'm quite a fan of this movie. So if the director's cut adds a lot of bad to the movie, I don't want to ruin how much I enjoy this. Then, as various other comic book movies, I have Hellboy now, and Hellboy and the Golden Army. Great movies. I love Ron Perlman's version of Hellboy. Hilarious, exciting, full of action. It's actually really incredible movies. And then the last comic book movie I have is Sin City. Just brilliant. Frank Miller done a great job. And the extended edition, it kind of lies to you. It makes it sound more exciting than it is. It isn't. It just, what it does is it takes all the different scenes out of the movie and then apparently puts them into like an order which makes sense. I don't know why anyone would care for that much. But it's a great black and white comic book movie that just gives you that really gritty feel. But this is actually the first Blu-ray that changed my mind about Blu-rays being better than DVDs. I didn't care for Blu-rays. I hated Blu-rays. I had more DVDs than anything. But then when I watched this and I saw how clear and amazing the film looked, I just got swayed onto how good Blu-rays were. Then we have what I call sci-fi. Could be a mix, really. So you guys can let me know whether or not I'm wrong, I guess. Please do. Alright, let's just get into it. Well, I don't know. They're not really sci-fi. I just put them in the... I don't really have a category for most of these. But you'll see what I mean why. But let's just start off with Armageddon. A great movie that scares the shit out of me. I have a fear of meteors. Alright, so that... a great movie, but it's terrifying. Next up is Back to the Future Trilogy. Great series of movies. My favourite is number 3. If you want to see why number 3 is my favourite, go to one of the... I think... No, it wouldn't have been one of those. It wouldn't have been one of my Back to My Future episodes. Shit. I'll tell you what, I'm going to find the video which explains why number 3 is my favourite. And go and check out why. And they'll see the video of why this is my 3 was my favourite one. Here's a film that was recommended to me by a friend, but I thought was going to be absolute shit. And it turned out to be incredible. Beautiful creatures. I thought it was a Twilight ripoff. As if you see my review about this, I made the joke in the beginning about how much it's exactly like Twilight. It's actually a really incredible movie. And look at this. It's Amanda Weller. Then we have the director's cut and original version of Beowulf. Yeah. I like the movie, sorry. A movie brought to me by my partner. It is Birdman, The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. Now, I actually quite like this. I actually really enjoyed this movie. And is it me, or has anyone else seen the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer? I think that this was to get us in preparation as him to play Falcon or Vulture. I can't remember that character's name. It's either Falcon or Vulture from the Marvel comics. But I think that this was to get us in preparation for when he plays that character. Don't you think? I think it is. Because if you see the trailer, he looks... Well, obviously it's Michael Keaton, so he's going to look the same. But he's playing a big bird-like person. Which in this, he played Birdman. Like, to me, it does not make kind of sense. I think this was to see whether or not we actually could take him on as a serious hero type role. Because, I mean, we liked him as Batman. Everyone says this was to do with Batman, actually. Like, this was more to do with him being Batman back in the olden day, like, compared to thing. But I think this was actually to get us in preparation for him to be in the new Spider-Man. That's what I think. A great dragon-related movie that not many people talk about. It is Aragon. It's definitely an interesting and fun movie. And I love the dragon. She's so beautiful and blue. Haven't seen this movie, belongs to my partner, and I'm probably never going to watch it. Extraction. One of my favourite Mila Jovovich and Bruce Willis movies to ever exist, and it is The Fifth Element. Oh, just the story, the acting, the humour, the seriousness, the scenery, everything is just, oh. Oh. Just amazing film. Love to see this in 3D. Brilliant. One of my most favourite video game movie adaptations to exist, second to Resident Evil Extinction. Final Fantasy VII, The Advent Children. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII, with Cloud, Sephiroth and all that, get this. It's brilliant. It's amazing. It's region free, guys, so you can watch this in any player. So anywhere you are, you can watch it. get it. It's definitely worth the money. And it's quite cheap now too. It's not that expensive. Here is a more recent pickup purchase. And it is The Guyver on Blu-ray, sponsored by Arrow Video. I did choose the original artwork just so I can get that amazing, great feel from the movie. It looks. I love that purple artwork that was in the previous video. The purple sleeve. I did like it. It was like a nice animated, cloudy drawing. But this gives me the original feel of when I first ever watched that movie. You know, and I remember when it used to be called Mutronics instead of the Guyver Mutronics. Or the Guyver had just Mutronics, and it was like I had a VHS. The same artwork here, as you can see. So yeah, I mean, great movie. It was really cheap as well. So it was £13. It was reduced from 20, and it's a region-free Blu-ray and region-free DVD, so you can watch them both anywhere. And it's the director's cut version as well. So it's really amazing. A film that I didn't know existed, but I saw it one day on online. I didn't know what it was, and then I found out it's an actual movie. Halo: Forward Unto Dawn. It's actually really good. If you haven't seen this, watch it. If you're a Halo fan, I'm not much of a Halo fan, but I like Halo. But it's actually a really interesting movie. It's from a cadet's point of view. Probably my second most favourite Matt Damon movie to exist. And I don't like Matt Damon much. I don't like the Bourne movies. My favourite Matt Damon film so far is Dogma. I haven't seen Good Will Hunting, and I reckon I'm probably going to like that more. But Dogma is my favourite Matt Damon related movie. But there's this one here called Hereafter, which is where he plays a medium. And it's actually a really interesting, gripping story. And if you haven't seen this, I recommend that you do go and watch it, because it is quite a very interesting movie. I picked this up cheap, because this is the only one out of the trilogy that I like, and it is The Hobbit: The Unexpected Journey. I'm probably going to pick up the other two at some point. I'm never going to pick up the extended 3D releases, or just in general the extended ones, because I don't really care for that. But I did like The Unexpected Journey. I did enjoy this one. One of my favourite is Leonardo DiCaprio movies, Inception. Yet again, interesting story, interesting cast. What I got from Poundland is the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. The extended edition to this set. Poundland. A movie that'll probably give me crap for, but yet again, I said before, I love the movie, and it is Pixels. It just gave that nostalgia vibe of the original arcade Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and stuff like that. It was really awesome. Plus, I love Adam Sandler and his group of friends. I definitely love Kevin James. Peter Dinklage is always awesome to see. Josh Gad is new to me. I know he was Olaf in Frozen, and I know he's playing Gaston's friend in The New Beauty and the Beast. But I liked him in this. Great movie done by the same people who've done Twilight, and it is Red Riding Hood with Amanda Seyfried. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it had a great story, great interpretation from the Red Riding Hood story. I think this is quite good, quite an interesting thing. Still got a lot to go through at the moment. Yeah, I'm not going to chat shit. I like this movie. It's nowhere near as good as the originals, but I do like the RoboCop movies. They're just interesting, they're fun, and I as well as this went, no, I'm not a fan of this kind of suit, because it doesn't look like RoboCop. It looks more like a latex scuba diving gear. I like how they tried to get the gun quite close. I do like the idea that he drives a motorbike. A lot of people don't like that. I kind of do. I think for RoboCop, him driving a car made no kind of sense, because he didn't really need a car. I think riding a bike seemed more interesting. But you know, I quite enjoy it. It's not the best RoboCop movie to exist, but I like it. But speaking of the best RoboCop movies to exist, I have got the trilogy here. And I'm pretty sure that the first one is actually the director's cut. It doesn't say it, but it does have the extended version of the movie on it, so I'm pretty sure it does. Plus it's got a whole bunch of different special features. What I'll do is I'll try and zoom in as much as I can. And if you guys can see that and pause it, then good for you. Yeah, Robocop 3 is actually my favourite, weirdly enough, but I do enjoy the first two as well. Then we have a low-budget-ish kind of sci-fi movie that I find really interesting and absolutely adored. Skyline. I prefer District 9. District 9 was a much better movie, but I do enjoy Skyline. Skyline is quite very interesting. Here we have Star Trek, the first remake, with Chris Pine and I always forget the other guy's name. I don't know his name. The one that plays Siler from Heroes. Zachary Quinto, that's it. Yeah. But great edit. And the thing is, people don't seem to understand. There's a reason I like these movies. Now, I know a lot of people do like the new remake Star Treks, but I know there's also a lot of fan people that come out and go, oh, that wouldn't have happened. I like... Oh, what the fuck was that? My throat's a bit sore. No, but I don't realise at the beginning of this movie, the timeline of Kirk changes, which no one understands. Like, they go back in time and Kirk's father gets killed. So the timeline changes, and it shows how Kirk, even though the timeline changed, Kirk he still ended up going into Starfleet. He was born to be Kirk, the captain, so that's good. Then I have the standard release of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Yeah, what I said I was going to do, in the second part of this video, I show you that I have the 3D version of Star Wars The Force Awakens. And I explained that I was going to show you something after the video that involves both these Blu-rays. But because I forgot, I didn't get to show you. So I'll show you now. Basically, this is the standard Blu-ray, and this is the artwork for... So, this is the artwork for the standard Blu-ray and bonus for the standard version. And then if I get the 3D one here, which I'll talk about more later. For people that don't own both, I'm just showing you right now. These are the artworks of the extended. So this is the 3D artwork here. And then you've got the bonus artwork there. And you've got the newer artwork for the standard Blu-ray here. So I like how they've used the different artworks for the normal Blu-rays for each edition. I like how they've used two sets of different artworks. I'm really impressed with that. Just to also let you know, in the future, my Star Wars 3D Blu-ray will not be in this collector's case. It will not be in here. It will be in a case similar to this, but with the 3D cases. I've designed my own sleeve. I'm just waiting for printer ink to print it out, and I'm quite impressed with what I did. I've been working on it since I found out that the 3D film was coming out, but printer ink isn't cheap, and when you're buying the movies that come out, you realise that you don't have as much money to buy printer ink as often as you would like. But Star Wars The Force Awakens is a great movie, and I definitely think they added... the only problem I had was that they showed Kylo Ren a bit too soon. You had to find out who he was a bit too soon. But I did enjoy it. Never seen it. Stealth. One of the weirdest but most fun movies I've ever seen in my life, and it's Sucker Punch. The extended cut. This movie is crazy but awesome. Watch it. And then also another great Super 8 movie. It's awesome. This is actually really good. I don't know, I'm sorry, I've got a headache, which is weird because usually you've got a headache, you kind of dial it down. But I'm trying to be as fun and energetic. I'm trying to be as fun and energetic for this video as I can, and for the... So I look crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm really tired. I've been renovating my room. because we've got all the paint and stuff done and the work done. But we've got to get new curtains yet. We're also sorting out our wardrobes. We've only just managed to finish our desks being sorted out, but yet our desks aren't finished. I was hoping to do a room tour by the end of this year, but that's not going to happen until after we get all the stuff that we need. But Super 8 is a great movie, so I definitely recommend that. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 more Blu-rays left, and then I'm done. I'll do these 5 together, so it takes up less time. And it is the Twilight Saga. Now, a lot of people are going to give me shit for that. I'm not a huge fan of Twilight as a story, I guess. But these seem like the kind of movies that when you're feeling really down and depressed, that it's the only thing that will just join that mood. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like them. They're just not as good as they could have been. Probably one of the best and favourite heist movies I've ever seen. I went to see this in cinemas. It's called The Town. This is what made me start liking Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner. Just a great, interesting movie. One of the most funniest horror movies I've ever seen in my life. Drag Me to Hell. Just hilariously funny. We've also got Daniel Radcliffe trying to be American in Horns. Yet again, really enjoyed this movie. One of, but not the, saddest movies I've ever watched that I enjoyed, and it is Fault in Our Stars. This is the perfect example of movies on Blu-ray that I shouldn't own on Blu-ray. But it was £2 and you get the DVD, or it was £5 for the DVD. Yeah. One of the best emotional movies I've ever seen in my life, and I'm so glad I own this on Blu-ray. For anyone who hasn't seen this movie, I would say if you've got kids, it's going to be more emotional for you. It hit me really hard, so I reckon if you've got children, this movie will break you more than anyone else. Especially if you've got a daughter. It's called The Lovely Bones. It stars Saoirse Ronan, great Irish actress who's now progressing more into her roles as she gets older. She starred in stuff like Brooklyn, The Host, Hannah. She's a brilliant, one of my favourite this generation actresses of all time. To adore her work, but this was the first thing I saw her in. And it's probably the only movie that can make me cry within the first half an hour of watching. Just such a detailed, emotional diary of a movie. It's also got Susan Sarandon, Mark Wahlberg, and Stanley Tucci. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But Mark Wahlberg isn't Mark Wahlberg in this movie. That's the one thing I can say about him, is he isn't himself in this. He plays a really serious, interesting father who doesn't act like Mark Wahlberg, and that's what made me like him in this movie. Rachel Weisz is also in this. But please, if you can get time to pick this up and watch this, you will adore this movie, and it will probably be the best thing you ever watched in your lives. 1 out of 3 of my prized possession Blu-rays that I own. It's my favourite film of all time, Moulin Rouge. There is no movie that will ever in this world be better than Moulin Rouge in my eyes. The best love story ever told. Better than Romeo and Juliet, and I'm a massive fucking fan of Shakespeare. But this is beauty hidden behind a digital platform. It's just one of the best emotional stories ever told. I love the music, I love the drama, I love the comedy, I love the seriousness, I love it all. It just is in one perfect container. If you haven't seen it, check it out, please. Next up is the horror version of Moulin Rouge. It is Repo the Genetic Opera, which is fucking sick and sadistic, but awesome. Love it. Love it. Last stop now. I've got a set of foreign imported Blu-rays or non-UK regional Blu-rays, and then and series. So let's just do a series. I've only got 2 technically series. I've got the animated Devil May Cry series. Great animated series, great adaptation from the games, sponsored by manga. It's awesome. And then I've got this like demo disc of Star Trek: The Next Generation, The Next Level, a taste of TNG in high level definition. So TNG is obviously for The Next Generation, but it's like 3 or 4 episodes from the Next Generation, and it shows how they remastered it and made it look more clearer. It's like there's the before VHS TV image to the new remastered image, and stuff like that. So just a couple of episodes. It looks really good. Quite impressed. So here's the non-UK released Blu-rays. I've got Dumb and Dumber. Pays off for £1, although this one says Dum und Dummer. It still plays in English, so I can still watch it and enjoy it. Then this is probably the best price position I own. It's obviously my Small Soldiers Blu-ray from Germany. It's awesome. Plays in English. Love it. Picked this up for my mum because she's a massive fan of the series. This is Stargate, but this is the Kurt Russell version of Stargate, where he plays Jack O'Neill. It's actually a really good movie, and the transfer to Blu-ray looks incredible. My favourite Star Trek movie of all time, and it is Star Trek Nemesis, which I got for free. And if you remember me ever talking about this in a previous video, my local DVD store gave me this for free because they thought they weren't supposed to take it because it was in a foreign case, but we didn't realise it was actually the UK released disc, so they gave me that for free. And then last up, this came with my incredible statue of Optimus versus Grimlock, and it is Age of Extinction Transformers, which I actually love that movie. That movie was absolutely incredible. So as I said, I'm going to add the 3D part right after this. I'm sorry that it's gone weird. It's going to be a very long video, and I hope you do enjoy. Get into this, do the 3D movies first. Let's start off with the top part, which is just my Disney movies as of the moment. At the end of this video, I will tell you the couple of movies that are turning up. Plus, I'm also going to let you know in another video my January and February pickup lists, so you guys know what kind of movies are coming your way for reviews or for whatever. So let's start off with The Little Mermaid 3D. Like I said, this is an Australian release. Yeah, so the 3D is kind of a hit and miss. It's got some good quality 3D in it, some nice in-depth moments. But other than that, because of the old animation, because of the old sketch style artwork, it doesn't work as well as Beauty and the Beast. But I guess if you're more for just the weird in-depth-ish 3D grain, then this is not too bad to look at, I guess. Next up is a more recent one, which is Zootropolis. Great movie. Widescreen 3D. The weirdest thing about Zootropolis is it's everything that I hate, but it's really good. The movie itself is quite good. Me and my partner are going to do a movie review on this. I was going to do one for Wednesday. I was going to do like a mini, just a 3D review, which I'll give you now. It does get an A+ on just the 3D and the movie itself. But yeah, the weirdest thing is my partner wants to do a proper full in-depth movie review on this, which her in-depth reviews can take up to a good like half an hour to an hour. She likes to talk about the proper details. But it's only in-depth 3D, and it's widescreen, which I don't like it when it's only in-depth, nor do I like widescreen 3D, but it works really well, so I've got to give it that. Then I've got Alice in Wonderland, which great 3D, full screen, but a great adaptation to the original Disney classic, Alice in Wonderland. Love Tim Burton and Johnny Depp's work for this movie. Story was more interesting and gripping than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, so that's good. Then we've got Alice Through the Looking Glass, which it surprised me because usually sequels suck, but this is actually quite good. My favourite character in this movie is Time, because I wasn't expecting him to be who he was. And the 3D yet again is full screen, and it's quite good. Watching it the second time, the 3D wasn't exactly as good as it was the first time. It did seem to be a bit more, not as much pop out, yet again more in-depth-ish 3D. But it was still pretty good. I still enjoyed it. Then we've got the Australian G-Force 3D Blu-ray release. Only because you can only get this in Australia or the United States. You cannot get this in the UK. Same for Little Mermaid. That's why I had to buy them both, the Australian releases. widescreen 3D, but really good in-depth and pop-out, so I was really impressed with this. Then the last Disney 3D release I have is the new Jungle Book. As you saw my review on this, I said that the 3D was a bit flat, and I gave it I think it was like a B+ rating. But then after I found out that my high-speed cable wasn't attached to my player, and I changed my HDMI, I've got sorry, talking a bit too fast. I have a high-speed 1080p 3D HDMI cable and just a standard HDMI cable that came with the player. At the time of watching the Jungle Book, I had my standard HDMI cable connected, but then when I plugged in my high-speed, oh no, it's 26 something p high-speed 3D cable, I plugged that in, it did actually make a big difference. I did notice the 3D a lot more the second time. So even though the 3D was flat first time watching it, it's not like improved dramatically to the point where it's the best 3D, but just the 3D is a lot more noticeable with a high-speed HDMI cable. So that's why I've kept that. Then we've just got kids animated and other various 3D movies. So we've got Despicable Me 3D, sponsored by LG on the case. I like Despicable Me. The 3D, for some reason, the 3D Blu-ray now, the movie itself doesn't actually look as good as the menu. But I noticed that about a lot of 3D movies. A lot of 3D movies have great menus, but terrible 3D for the film. But the 3D is still noticeable. It's full screen, so you do get to enjoy that experience. And I guess I've got to watch it again to see whether or not it's great, because I think, if I remember correctly, the 3D was quite flat. Sorry, I'm wearing a jumper and I don't like my sleeve being down, so it's kind of hit and miss. Then we have How to Train Your Dragon 3D. My favourite DreamWorks movie of all time, and the 3D is phenomenal. I like the nice 3D effects of the fire, of the scenery with the hills and the water. It's really good, plus the story is absolutely freaking amazing. I used to have How to Train Your Dragon 2. That ended up in a pile of 3D films that I sold ages ago, which I feel absolutely shitty for, because I love that movie. I actually sold a lot of movies I didn't mean to, but I am going to get that one back soon. Definitely a worth it pickup. Then I'm going to do these two together, even though these are two separate movies. There's a reason why. And it is the Megamind 3D and the Monsters vs. Aliens 3D movies. The US release is sponsored by Samsung. I picked these up at two separate times, both from charity shops. This one for 50p and this one for £1. Both great DreamWorks movies, both amazing widescreen 3D. I would have to say that Monsters vs. Aliens has a little bit better 3D than Megamind, but Megamind, if you've seen it, has some incredible 3D. Both definitely worth picking up if you enjoy their 3D. Then I've got another DreamWorks, which is Turbo. I absolutely adore Turbo. Great 3D movie, great movie. It could have done a lot better with the 3D, but it's reasonable if you like that kind of. I'm actually gonna watch this tonight, because I haven't seen this in a long time. By the way, this unfortunately this is a printed sleeve, because the original sleeve when I bought it, because I bought it pre-owned, was damaged, so I had to print off a secondary sleeve. I bought this back last year. If you watch a collection update at some point before, you'll see it anyway. I've had it for a long time. Do you know what? I'm just gonna have my sleeves down, even though they're long and annoying, because I don't want to keep rolling them up. Right, then next up we've got House of Magic. Yet again, a great 3D, great movie. Probably one of the best animated 3D movies. I still think that Sammy's Turtle Tale is one of the best. But I think they're both, for me, on the same scale. Just incredible. And it's a great fun movie for adults and kids. It's got adult sense of humour with kids' sense of humour. Just an incredible movie, really. You guys will enjoy it. Next up, my favourite 3D Blu-ray of all time, and that's obviously Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time. I can't imagine the amount of times I've spoken about this movie, so yeah, that's the only reason why, is because it's awesome. For me, brings back Yu-Gi-Oh! Memories. I mean, the story, the cast, the cards, everything, and the 3D effects make this movie so much better. And yet again, as I said, if they can release Pyramid of Light in 3D, I would probably cry myself to sleep. And then last up, oh no, last up, sorry, there's two more. Hugo, this is a kids movie. Great story, a great adaptation from the book, from what I've been told. I've not read the book, but I've been told that even though no movie is better than the book, apparently this is so close to the book that you can still get the experience of when you watch it as if you would read the book. So that's good. It means that you're not really missing a lot from the book in the movie, and great casting for a lot of these roles, so definitely worth it. And the 3D yet again is incredible. Last one I got from Poundland. It's a terrible freaking movie, but the 3D is awesome, and it comes with aroma cards, which is Spy Kids, all the time in the world 3D. It was in Poundland, and me and my partner bought it before, but the scratch cards were used. But you get 2 aroma cards to sniff, scratch and sniff when you're watching the movie. So from Poundland for £1, brand new, it was just, yeah, there it was. Then we've got hero movies. Don't have many of them because I'm gonna let you now know, a lot of the hero 3D movies suck. Thor, Captain America's First Avenger and Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, and Thor Dark World, terrible 3D. 3D is absolutely non-existent. I will never buy them in my life again after spending, considering they were still £20 pre-owned, and then when I watched them they were still bad. Never again. Alright, but let's just start off with some great ones. These are all okay. There's probably one that hasn't got great 3D or is not really a great movie. But I like the 3D for it. But let's just start off. We've got Avengers Assemble. In the US, it's just known as the Avengers. This is exactly what started off a great idea for Marvel 3D. And the fact that they've had to change it since annoys the frick out of me. It's full screen, great in-depth, great pop-out. It's just an exciting 3D movie. And to love the Avengers anyway, to see it in 3D and get the nice, full-on experience of being there, love it. Adore it. Glad I own it. This is what started full screen Marvel for me, and I wish they'd done every release since exactly like this. Stupid that they didn't. I'm annoyed with them because they had a lot more potential to do this with every single movie, and they chose not to. But definitely great. Next up, we have got Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron does have good 3D, but it's widescreen, and it just loses that potential. It's not even a great movie. Age of Ultron wasn't as great as the first Avengers. It's okay, but if they had done it at least full screen, the same kind of 3D as the first Avengers, this would have been much higher up on my list of like movies, because I would have just felt more experienced with it. Would have felt more enjoyable, and especially the fight between Hulk and Hulkbuster. Seeing that in full screen on TV in 3D would have been epic. I think it lost a lot of its image through the widescreen experience, but it's still a good 3D movie. Next up, we've got Captain America Civil War. I'm upset because it does IMAX 3D for one scene, which is obviously the airport scene. Then the whole rest of the movie is all just widescreen, which makes no sense. If you're gonna go IMAX, do it throughout them. Don't do it for one scene. And then that one, I'm not even joking. If you've seen this on 3D, the widescreen 3D is really good. The widescreen's incredible, but the full screen airport scene is so much better. If you'd done the whole movie like that, then I would be much happier to own this than I am now. But it was still definitely a worth watch. Probably the best 3D guy, giving away now anyway. The best 3D, Marvel movie to exist so far anyway. In my opinion, is Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though I don't like IMAX, they did it well. The 3D widescreen and full screen is brilliant. It's non-missable, it's enjoyable, it's heart-pumping, it's energizing, it's everything which a 3D movie should have. It's even though I'm not a fan of the widescreen, but they do it right. The scenes that shouldn't need the big full screen, they do in the widescreen, and the scenes that need to be big exploration, fight, battle scenes is in full screen, which I enjoy. So they've done that really well. Sorry about that, I had to pause it because obviously some films dropped. Then for DC, we've got Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, the extended edition. As you know, for all extended edition 3D movies, always the extended cut is always on just a 2D Blu-ray, which sucks because it'd be nice to see any extended movie in 3D, just to get the extra scenes and the extra decent in-depth feel of a movie. But the 3D for widescreen DC was actually really good. I did enjoy it. If you watched my review on Batman v Superman, you know that I had a lot of problems with it. But watching it in 3D, despite them problems, it still became a bit more of an enjoyable movie. I don't know why, but I felt each scene with more passion than I did watching it in 2D. So yeah, that's still definitely worth purchasing. Next up was a present for my partner a few years back for my birthday. I enjoyed the 3D, and I'm actually quite a fan of the movie, which is going to annoy a lot of people. But I think the movie was okay. I do agree that it should have been a lot better, and it should have had a lot more in it than it did. It's the Green Lantern. I think it does use the in-depth 3D more than it does the pop-out, and I do think that it lacks a little bit in the 3D department than it should have had. But I still think it's an okay movie. The 3D is okay. I don't recommend you buying this if you want a great 3D experience. But if you're just a fan of the movie, I just get the Blu-ray. The 3D is not that incredible to look after. It's just obviously this is a present for my partner, and I quite like the 3D myself. I do think it's watchable for me, but to everyone else, I don't think they'll think it's worth it. So just buy the standard Blu-ray if not. And then the last hero movie is Suicide Squad 3D Extended Edition. 3D is just the same as Batman v Superman. They did it well, which I'm quite happy about. It's widescreen again, but yet again it's good because it matches the Batman v Superman 3D. Yet again, the Extended Edition's only on the 2D, which sucks, but, you know, the 3D was great, and the movie is great itself, so definitely a worth it purchase. Now it's my sci-fi movies. I got more of the, well technically, I don't know if they count as sci-fi, they're sci-fi and other. Alright, so let's just start off with a great one, Avatar 3D, yes. I definitely agree that the extended release should have got a 3D release for that, but this was probably the first full screen 3D movie I watched. I told you when I was living somewhere else, my brother and his friend had a 3D TV, and this was like the first 3D film I picked up. So this was the first 3D film I ever watched, plus the full screen, and it's just incredible. The full screen experience, the animation, the imagery, the scenery, everything is brilliant, but the 3D adds so much more detail to its effects that it makes the film come to life, which I'm really proud of. Next up is Beowulf 3D. So it's the Italian import. You can only get this on Amazon or eBay, imported from Italy, or from a UK seller who's bought it from Italy. But it's not sold anywhere in the US or anywhere in the UK, so you have to get it imported from someone else. The 3D is good. The story does lack a bit for a movie, but the 3D is worth watching. If you're a fan of the Beowulf movie, you'll love the 3D if you've got a 3D TV. Next up is Doctor Who: The Day of the Doctor, probably one of the best full-screen 3D experiences ever. It's on my next top 10 list that you'll see soon, hopefully after this video. But this is definitely, again, worth watching 3D movie. I Frankenstein, I enjoy this movie. The 3D is slightly lacking, but yet again, this was from Poundland. It was brand new sealed. I thought I might as well pick it up while it's a pound. But I like the I Frankenstein movie, just that the 3D is slightly lacking. For such a great movie, it's lacking a bit. But the 3D is still watchable, I guess. Then we've got Jurassic Park, probably the best, well, one of the best 3D conversions. In my next top 10 best 3D Blu-rays you should buy, number 1 is probably the actually best 3D conversion to ever exist to date. This is definitely one of them, but the other one is definitely the best. But yet again, it brought that childlike memory to life. Like watching it in cinemas on the big screen. I mean, I know this came out when I was born, so I never really got the chance to see it. But I grew up watching it, you know. But like by the age of 3, this movie was already 3 years old. So watching it from 3 and upwards, it was like it was growing older with my life. Definitely an enjoyable movie. Yes, it's definitely worth picking up. Next up is Jurassic World, which I freaking love. A lot of people hate this movie. I enjoy this movie. It was exciting. It's nowhere near as good as Park, but it was incredible. The 3D, I said, is very strange. It's not widescreen, but it's not full screen. It's like close to full screen, but it's still got tiny black bars on top of them. But it works. You don't notice it, you just enjoy the movie. The 3D is freaking phenomenal. You get equally 50% of pop out and in depth, so it's just freaking enjoyable. Oh, I like talking about certain movies. This one I'm just going to show you and put down because I haven't seen it, so I don't know what to say about it. Hercules. I've heard it's not a great movie, so I don't know, but I haven't watched it yet. Then we got another one of my great personal favourite 3D movies of all time, Pacific Rim. Ugh. Awesome. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you've got a 3D TV and want to watch it, watch it. Then we have Star Trek Into Darkness 3D. I do like the 3D to this. I've watched it 4 times, but for some reason each time I watch it the 3D seems a bit less and less. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's me or not, but it only seems to be for this movie. Every time I've watched it so far, it's just the 3D gets less and less more noticeable. My setup's not changed since last time, so I don't know why it looks different, but for some reason it just doesn't seem as noticeable. But the 3D is still reasonably good. Definitely a great movie. Definitely worth picking up. Then I want to do these two together because these two are probably the best widescreen 3D I've ever seen in my life and probably ever will see in my life. It's the TMNT remakes. No, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if I get hated. I fucking love these movies. They're interesting. They're amazing. The characters are hilarious. I love little Mikey. But the widescreen 3D is freaking probably the best widescreen 3D to exist that I've seen in my life. Just awesome. It works so well and so enjoyable. You watch these in a dark room and you get the full experience of both these movies. Definitely glad I own them. Then we got Transformers Dark of the Moon. This was another present from my partner. Now this is yet again a hit and miss. There's certain scenes that look freaking phenomenal in 3D, and then there's certain scenes that just look quite flat, but it's still an enjoyable movie to watch. I would much prefer to watch this on 2D, then 3D, but the 3D is still worth watchable sometimes. Then it's my letdown that I'm probably going to get rid of and get the standard version for, and it is Warcraft. My favourite movie of 2016. Had so much hopes for it, but the 3D just seemed to be a bit lacking. I don't know. I put it on again yesterday just to try it out, and I noticed that there is a lot of in-depth 3D in this movie, and I think that's all it's based on. I think it's only just based on the in-depth 3D, not the pop-out, which I like it to be a mix of both. I like it having the half and half feel effect, but no, it just focuses on the in-depth, which makes the movie seem a little bit flatter to me. Doesn't seem as enjoyable if you just work on just that in general. For some reason it looked better for Zootropolis, but it doesn't work for this at all. Then we have another great widescreen 3D movie that I absolutely am so happy I bought. Great movie, great story, great casting, just fantastic 3D, and that is X-Men Apocalypse. Whoever says that X-Men Days of Future Past was a better movie and had better 3D is a liar. Days of Future Past was extremely slow and dull. I mean, the only good thing about Days of Future Past was Quicksilver's scene. That was the only thing worth watching. This has a much more interesting, better story. Could they have done Apocalypse a little bit better? Yeah, but I like Jason Isaacs as, not Jason Isaacs? Who the fuck's that? Isn't that the guy from Dead Space? Yeah, Oscar Isaacs. That's the guy. Oscar Isaacs is the fucking Dead Space guy. Oscar Isaacs as Apocalypse. He did the role well, but they could have done it, the outfit and the animation a bit better for it, like the CGI. Could have made him look a bit more bulkier, a bit more like Apocalypse. But great story, great 3D. Just probably my favourite X-Men movie. No, sorry, First Class still beats it. Definitely First Class beats it. Do you hear this? It's taken 15 minutes to fly away. Technically this should have been with the S's, but I couldn't put it with the S's because it's a special edition. So I had it separate anyway, and that is Star Wars The Force Awakens 3D Collector's Edition. Yeah, great 3D, widescreen again, but the 3D was definitely interesting. They definitely took a different approach to this. The first Star Wars movie to actually have a 3D release on Blu-ray, which sucks. They should have tried to release them all. Conversions may look pretty good. But yeah, I think that was definitely worth purchasing. I'm quite happy with that set. Plus, there's something I'll show you at the end that's made me really happy about that set. Next up is just miscellaneous movies, which makes probably no sense. It's just movies that I can't be put under any category. Now the 3D for this, me and my mum both talked about today because we watched. I think me and only her watched it. Me and my partner haven't watched this one yet. When we watched it, the 3D wasn't as great as it could have been. It seemed really flat, so I'm probably going to trade this one for the standard. But in fairness, I don't mind. I don't really care that the 3D wasn't incredible for this as it should have been. This movie is just a perfect movie on its own. So watching this in 2D will have the same effect for me. And it is Everest. I done a really sad review about this. I looked and I watched it back ages ago. I look and sound really depressed talking about this, but so I should. Based on a true story, really emotional, hurtful, painful story to see. But just incredible acting from all the cast and crew for this. Great story, great way they told it. They made it look as realistic as possible. So I have to give them at least that. Next up is another true story based movie, which I absolutely love. And I think the main actor definitely put a lot of effort into this. And I know that this was the movie voted, was it 2015? 2015 to 2016. It was voted the best movie to make you throw up due to the 3D, and that's The Walk. I understand why. No, the 3D for this is freaking phenomenal. The scene between the Twin Towers is, it's so amazing. You know, you feel like you're on that rope. When you're looking down, you get the fear of vertigo. You get that fear of heights attack you. It makes the movie feel real, and that's what makes me happy about 3D. Finally, my last 3D movie of 2016 to own is The Wizard of Oz 3D, which is just a great conversion again. It looks incredible throughout the whole movie. Definitely more in-depth than Pop Out, I must say, but still looks really good. I've ordered 5 3D movies, but they're not turning up till the middle of January to the beginning of February, and I'll just let you know which ones they are. 3 of them are ones that I previously owned, which accidentally got sold in the pile I shouldn't have, and 2 are new movies that were recommended to me. The 3 that I previously owned was Beauty and the Beast, which probably my favourite Disney 3D movie to actually exist, due to its nice conversion of 3D. Second is Ant-Man 3D. I've had that twice already. The second time I bought it, it looks so much better than the first. So I'm hoping the third time I buy it, it looks better. And Sammy's Turtle Tales. Yes. I sold that because my partner was afraid of it, but she's actually come to terms with her being afraid of the 3D was probably a good thing now. So, and it's £2.50 to get it. So we've ordered it. The 2 films I've got, okay, a lot of people have recommended me quite a few good films, so don't worry, if they're not the 2 that you've recommended, it doesn't mean I'm not getting them. I have got a January to February pickup list. I'm picking up The Life of Pi and Harold and Kumar's 3D Christmas. They're coming along as well. January pickup list, I can actually do that now. Hang on, give me a second. Yeah, so I'm back with the list anyway. I've got my trusty clipboard. So I've got a list of 3 movies that I'm trying to pick up in January that were recommended to me some people. Just to let you know that Life of Pi and Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas was recommended to me by Omar Little, who's a fellow YouTuber and a good subscriber, so I'll put his description down below. Also, Greg Braden, he also said he agreed that Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas was actually pretty good. So it's because of them 2 different people explaining that it's good, that what made me get on it. Another friend of mine, BJ Higgs, recommended The Secret Life of Pets. It says that he saw it in 3D in the cinemas and it was probably one of the best animated 3D he's seen. He would like to see my interpretation of it as a home 3D use. So I'm hoping to pick that up in January so that I can give you what you want to know, whether or not it is worth getting for your house, or was it just good for 3D in cinemas. Then also, I was also recommended by Greg Braden, Pan 3D. January pickup list, don't worry. There was I've been trying to avoid it for a long time, just because I'm a big fan of Hook, and then the Peter Pan movie came out a few years back with the boy. That was annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I hated that Pan movie. I didn't like the look of this from the trailer, but I've been told it's a really good 3D movie, so I'm gonna pick it up. Also, Omar Little also recommended that the In the Heart of the Sea 3D is a worth purchase. So Secret Life of Pets, In the Heart of the Sea, and Pan 3D are movies I'm planning to pick up mid-January time. Like I said, Life of Pi, Harold and Kumar are coming in January anyway. So I should have all these movies that you guys want me to talk about by January point. Yeah, so that was just the 3D collection update. I'm sorry it's taken a bit of time to get it done, really, but it's the best I can do. But stay tuned for after this video, because after this video, I'll let you on a little secret. I'm probably going to upload this video, on Saturday after Back to My Future. So you'll probably see the video that's going to be uploaded on Thursday mid-Friday, which is going to be Top 10 3D Blu-rays to purchase Part 2, which I think I'm looking forward to, because it is a good list. Anyway, YouTube, that is it. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please show your support by clicking that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to strike the like for future videos. And I'll see you next time.